This story comes to us from why.org, WHYY.org, out of Delaware. You know, when I was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s, yeah, I'm aging myself, but very early 80s, like 80, 81, there was a game we played where you would run up to someone's house and go, bung, 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 on the doorbell, and then you'd run as fast as you can and hide behind a big tree or electrical box and peek out to see if they come out looking. It was called Ding Dong Ditch. Ding dong, ditch. Well, apparently a Delaware state, I can't even believe they're still playing that in 2023. Oh my God. A Delaware State Police Corporal whose home was pranked in August of this year by a group of teenagers playing just that, Ding Dong Ditch, has been indicted for fracturing one's eye socket and assaulting another youth who had no involvement in the prank. So 2 youths have been assaulted. Corporal Dempsey Richard Walters, a 7-year veteran of the state's largest police force, the Delaware State PD, was charged using evidence captured on his body-worn camera, authorities said, and announcing the handful of misdemeanor and felony charges. Matt Marshall, spokesman for the Attorney General Kathy Jennings, said Walters turned off the camera before almost immediately punching the 15-year-old boy in the eye, but the camera's police use in Delaware continue recording for several seconds after they shut off. So he runs up to this kid, shuts his camera off, but remember, it records for 30 seconds and then goes off. LAPD is like that too. So he turns his camera off and then punches the kid, forgetting that he has to wait 30 seconds before he does it, you see. But it caught it. And Walters faces 1 count of second-degree assault, 2 counts of third-degree assault, 2 counts of official misconduct, 1 count of deprivation of civil rights by a law enforcement officer. Now, isn't there something that's supposed to be assaulting a minor or something? Because there's minors and there's aged. You know, isn't there a special circumstance for that? Dempsey Walters chose to extract his own brand of personal justice by assaulting 2 defenseless minors and attempting to conceal his conduct, said Kathy Jennings, the Attorney General. He will now face criminal consequences for his actions. Jennings said the indictment marks the first time the civil rights charge has been used since it became a law earlier this year. So it's a new civil rights law in Delaware, and now he gets to be tested. She said that crime has a mandatory 2-year prison term. He'll get 2 years probation. Well, he'll get sued too, because the parents are probably going to sue. But Colonel Melissa Zebley, superintendent of the Delaware State Police, said Walters was suspended without pay the day after the alleged attacks, with the intention to fire him. The intention, because remember, the union will go, you can't fire this guy. They were playing Ding Dong Ditch, and he, you know what I mean? He was scared out of his mind. That's what the union would say. Colonel Zebley said it is disheartening when a law enforcement leader has to share news regarding the betrayal of both the public's and the agency's trust. But today I'm here to do exactly that. Please know that we shared the same concern and outrage as everyone else about this incident when we proactively reviewed body camera footage. And she probably did. Her name's Colonel Melissa Zebley. So if she's a mom, she's like, whoa, hold on a minute, I got kids. You know, that's kind of sometimes where it comes from. But when she says betrayal of the public and the agency's trust, that's the kind of a roundabout way of saying, you know, we will not tolerate this conduct or this activity. This is, you know, we're the standards thing. I digress. Now, the episode began around 8:30 p.m. when a 15-year-old and 2 friends, also minors, decided to do the Ding Dong Ditch prank at Walter's house near Ellesmere, west of Wilmington. And then it tells you what Ding Dong Ditch is. I already told you what it is. But while en route home, he spoke to someone in Ellesmere who said he had seen 3 youngsters run toward Taft Avenue. So Walters drove there and met 2 Newport Town cops, telling them what had occurred. Walters knew that a teenager whom he had argued with and briefly detained a few days earlier lived on Taft Avenue, so he and the Newport officer knocked on that kid's door. The teenage answered, and he forcibly pulled him out and forced him to the ground, causing unspecified injuries. Then he handcuffed the youth and detained him in the back of a police vehicle. He was later released without being charged. And it goes down to tell you, I'm just going to paraphrase, he starts to head home, but was informed that another trooper had found the youth who had kicked the door and his 2 friends. Oh, they kicked the door too. When he arrived at the scene, a 15-year-old was face down on the ground as the trooper struggled to handcuff him behind his back. We're going to get the Blue Line supporters. Oh, he was fighting. Okay, see, FAFO. He's a 15-year-old teenager, okay? Teenagers don't always think like 35-year-olds or 45-year-olds. Teenagers, I was a teenager. We don't think straight. Teenagers are like, they just have fun. Woohoo! And then when they get in trouble, they go, oh, damn, there are consequences. You see what I'm saying? Let's stop approaching teenagers as if they're 40 years old and should know what they're doing. They have to learn. They have to be taught. They have to be instructed. But he says the teen was eventually handcuffed and put in the other trooper's cruiser. While that was occurring, Walters turned off his body camera, walked to the vehicle, and punched the handcuffed teen in the right side of his face, causing an orbital fracture. That's the eye socket. He was handcuffed. The cop turns off his body camera, walks over and punches him as the camera is still rolling. Even worse than you thought, huh? I'll put a link to this story in the description box. It goes down a little farther. The real question here is this cop's first time to lose control like that? Or are there other victims out there that it was just never recorded and it's the cop's word versus theirs? Is this his first rodeo? I doubt it. The pattern of behavior. This guy's like this all the time, imagine. You see? What does he do on a traffic stop when somebody says, look, man, I wasn't speeding? Does he go, you shut your effing mouth or I'll punch, blah, 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 blah. Give me your driver's license, buddy. I'll pull your ass out of the car. Does he do that? That's a good question. You say, well, why would he do that? Why would he punch a handcuffed teen in the eye in the back of a police car?